The self is not to be desired. You are already the self. Can you remain firm, composed, stable, full, abundant? I am already filled with physical and chemical substances bodily, and air fills me further, heat fills me further, and the consciousness fills me even still further. So tell me whether your personality is full or not. Then what are you trying to add to? Now can you remain with this kind of a confidence and clarity and say, I need nothing? There is no place for anything in me. Physically, I am full with physical substances. Mentally and intellectually and ego-wise, I am full with consciousness. Nothing from this world can enter me, give me a plus, and nothing can take anything from me. I remain myself. My dear listeners, this is a thought process. Can you cherish it? Can you cherish it? Can you find your satisfaction, fullness and ideal in this? Sometimes I feel this is reserved for the most fortunate. This is reserved for the most fortunate and the rare few. In Bible there is a quotation, many will try to enter the kingdom of God. They shall not succeed. Enter through the narrow door. What does it mean? Everybody is told, hey, you are not complete, run after, run after, run after. Here is a philosophy, a truth that tells you, you are already full, my dear seeker. There is no place for anything at all. Understand that you are the majestic, the splendorous, the stupendous, the all-engulfing, the all-comprehending consciousness. If you can work upon this proposition, Adiprakrishta Pyaruda Prabhaya, the feeling of ego marks separation. The moment you say I, you become separate from the rest. Gone. Chala gaya sab kuch. But if you start practicing this truth for what it is worth, meditation will be required, samadhi experience also will be required. But ultimately the test is this knowledge. You are supposed to realize your very self. What is that realization? I was already the self, I am the self, and I shall ever be the self. So to change whom are you acquiring? To change whom are you desiring? By marriage have you changed? By being parents have you changed? Huh? The blood chemistry has changed. The psychochemistry has changed. The spiritual chemistry has changed. But all these are biological, external, physical sequences. Agreed. But none of this is going to involve, act upon and affect your spiritual presence in the body. You live in this world, interact with the objects, but never lose your identity. A man puts on a female role. He starts acting in a drama. At any point of time does he lose his identity and crave for a husband? Huh? Matva stri veshadhari styahamiti gurude kim nado bharturicham. In the same manner, you should understand the physical body is a dress, a role I have put on. The mental activities are also a role. Everything is a role. I am the other. Shankara is asking, Swajadhara Bhradaye Bhishayan Yascha Mugdhan Matva Vyagrohamitham Sanara Pashumukhan Bhathate Kimnu Satwan. See, there are people who have a tiger skin. They put it on and they start wandering in the footpath. And people will come to see. At any point of time, does he feel that I have become a tiger and pounce upon a cow? Huh? Similarly, another example is Matva Stri Veshadhari Striahamidi Gurude Kim Nado Bharturicham Tadvat Shariratma Pruthaganubhavato Dehato Yascha Sakshi. In the same manner, this biological body is only a garb that you have put on. You are absolutely different from the body. You may ask me, Swamiji, I understand it, but I don't experience it. You haven't done anything for experience. At least I must compliment you and bless you. You are coming and listening to this. That is an effort. I agree. See, as clear the other one, so clear here also you should be. And it is possible. That is why they say, Adipragrishta Pyaruna Prabhayam Viliyate Sadhu Yathata Misra. However dense the darkness is, when the Arunodaya takes place in the morning, the whole darkness vanishes. Similarly, when this self-recognition, the self-comprehension, the self-realization, the consciousness of consciousness that takes place, you will find all this confusion vanishes. I don't know whether you will like to hear. I was in Calcutta. You know, I don't remember how much time it took, etc. in the first 2-3 years. Intense sadhana I was doing. As I told you, 2.5 hours meditation, sharp meditation. No. It was an experiential meditation for me, to be enraptured by the inner experience. And holidays, I will plug every hole in the window and laugh. 4 hours. So you can imagine how much intensity should have been there. And with all the intensity, after 1 or 1.5 years, I started reading most of the books which I am dealing with, except Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. I had not got a copy then. So Vivekachoodamani, Aparokshanubhuti, Shatasloki, then Praudhanubhuti, Atmabodhaha, Drugdrishya Vivekaha, Upadesha Sahasri, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha, Vedanta Saraha. All these are Prakarana Granthas I had read. Upanishads also I read. Bhagavad Gita also, when I had a chicken pox attack, the whole of the Gita I read then. Now with all these things, with my exhilarating, enrapturing meditation I had, I felt that this is not sufficient, this is not the truth. You know how desperate my mind would have become. Every day after eating or after having the meal I would say, what? Fie upon me. One more day is gone. I am going to sleep and the next day will be born. What is this? What is this? Where is that wonderful realization which says that nothing else is necessary, once and for all? You know, so much of despair was there. Sometimes I refuse to eat or eat with like this. If I eat like that, a lot of quantity will go in. So I used to eat in this manner. I think people don't have an aim. That intensity should be there. You should believe in our Shastras. What is belief? Our devotion to the Shastras should be much more than what we have to the parents. After all, they are saying something very dearly and nearly to beloved people. They address, Janaka was being addressed by Ashtavakra as a Tata, means dear son. Now this is what the point is. However much dense is your misunderstanding, is your confusion, is your ignorance, is your delusion. The moment you have the knowledge, it is something like a cave where ever since the birth of the earth, it was dark and dark and dark. Nevertheless, you take a burning candle there. Will the darkness vacate or not? Huh? Whether it was 1 hour old, 1,000 years old, or centuries old, millennia old. In the same manner, it is after all the self. That is what you refer to as the I. You know, I am prepared to say, you don't have to think about God. You don't have to think about God. You know why? Every day you say I. This I is the first and last reference to God. Then why should you remember? When you say I remember God, God becomes an object. Whereas you have already said I remember. That I itself is a reference to God. So nobody is there a disbeliever. Nobody is there a disbeliever. When he says, I do not believe in God, he has already accepted God, and then he says, do not believe. The I is the first and the last reference to God. So you don't have to do any puja, Baba. No. It is for the ignorant. It is for the deluded. It is for the confused. Instead of doing puja, you simply sit. I. The I reference is unmistakable. When you say God, he may be in the Himalayas, or he may be in the Vaikuntha, or some other heights. When you refer to the I, it becomes very precise and clear. It is within your body, not behind your back, not in front of your chest, not above your head and below your feet. It is quite precisely inside. It's an unmistakable reference. Nahi samjha? Huh? The best way not to forget God is to make Him yourself. What?
Yourself.
You don't understand. See, make Him yourself. As long as you think of God differently, you will forget. I will forget everything. You will forget your husband, you will forget your wife, you will forget your children, you will forget your wealth, you will forget your existence. Everything will be forgotten. But the forgetter cannot be forgot. So make God the forgetter in you. Then you are safe. Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
Huh? बोलिए ना थोड़ा खोलकर. Huh?
Yes, sir.
See, I am a wonderful researcher. I can play with God in any manner I like. See, as long as you feel God to be a second factor, you will always be separate from Him. Make Him the I in you, so that you will never get away from Him. He is not a subject of worship, an object or a subject of worship. He is a subject of contemplation, and He is a subject for identification. When you designate God as your very self, you never forget Him, you never get distance from Him. That is why I always say, I have given 2 challenges to your God. What is that? Banish me from your territory. What? And second is exit from my heart. Can God exit from my heart? And can He banish me? Suppose He banishes me, where will He keep? So I have banished you from my territory and kept you elsewhere. That means you are not there and you ceases to be God. See, our ism is so free. What? It is so free. We can play with God, talk to God, think of Him in any manner. And our Shastras say it does not matter. Either you love him, or you hate him, or you be jealous of him, compete with him. Anything that you want to do, yena kena prakarena matihi krishnaye niyojayet. Your mind should be devoted to him, that's all. Love him if you can, hate him if you want, be jealous of him, be fearful about him. Anything, any emotion you use, but you should keep him as an object or subject of that emotion. What more do you want? Our Shastras are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You know, it has analyzed the human psychology from all quarters. And it is giving you a thought process by virtue of which you can be happy, you can be poised, you can be comfortable, and you will remain unshakable with a confidence that will never wax or wane. So very good, very good. So be confident, confident, confident. That is why I say, by the glory of your human birth, you are penetrated by and surrounded by godliness. ये बात सुनने को अच्छा नहीं लगता है? हाँ? See, I am making you superbly rich. What? Rich. 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 Rich with what? Rich with spirituality, rich with devotion, rich with godliness. It can only be done by in this way of exposition, by words, by nothing else. Okay, I embrace all of you mentally and bless you also. May your spiritual progress be more intensified. Let the truthful introspection as a sadhana pursued and resting upon your intelligence, grow deeper and deeper, loftier and loftier. Do not miss your focus. Your focus is the consciousness that animates and activates your body. You know, when I close my eyes, I simply get, I don't know what to use. The easier expression you can understand is, I get electrified. You know, the whole body becomes spiritually warm. There is a buoyancy. I feel a palpable or a sensible presence filling the whole of the body, thereby making me understand my range. When I sit absorbed, this range goes on increasing and widening. There can be the feeling and experience of endlessness also. The whole body remains there. It helps the whole experience. The entire form of the body. You know, when the heat radiates, you put an iron ball into a furnace and you heat it up. When it becomes red hot, do you think that form of the iron ball will remain distinct from fire? Huh? See that? You know, the physicality of the ball, when it becomes red hot, everything will become red. The iron ball, that sphere, will not be seen. Similar is the case with this body. It is such a wonderful experience. You know, if I talk, you may wonder, I never talk with my intelligence. I have never believed in intellectuality. But somehow I speak in this manner. Because this is the only way perhaps we can communicate and make the listeners understand. But I am a person who is against intellectuality, but somehow I speak in this manner. I think all of you must have this wonderful experience and live nicely. Be an ornament to the world. In your house you should live as Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi. The woman will be a Mahalakshmi and the husband would be a Narayana. You should live like this. Or as Shiva and Parvati. Name your houses like that. Not the wonderful modern names. You know? Put nice names. Okay. Now we shall meet for Vishnu Sahasranama Samuha Mahayajna. ये महाभारत में सबसे मुख्य और प्रमुख इसका नाम है शांति पर्व और अनुशासन पर्व। ये दोनों पर्वों में शांति की बात, शांति की वर्णना और विवरणा काफी दी गई है। रे युधिष्ठिर, तुम सुनो, तुम्हारे मन में क्या है कष्ट? महाभारत युद्ध तो हुआ, 4.5 मिलियन 45 लाखों की सेना की हत्या हुई, साथ ही साथ घोड़े भी है, हाथी भी है, ये भी हो गया है। जो हो गया है उसका क्या परिहार है? जो कोई घटना हो चुकी है उसको हम वापस तो नहीं कर सकते हैं, उल्टा पलटा नहीं कर सकते हैं। घटना जो हो गई ही। तुम्हारे मन में उसके प्रति याद मात्र बचता है। This is a point that I would like all of you to understand. Whatever may be the incident, accident or outcome which has once taken place, that once taken place event can never be altered by any one of us, including God. हमारे मन में बचता है उसके प्रति जो याद है, स्मरण वही है। तो तुम्हारे मन में युद्ध कोई घटना नहीं है, युद्ध के प्रति जो स्मरण है या याद है वही तुम्हारी कष्ट। इस कष्ट का निवारण करने के लिए एक ही मार्ग है। क्या है? अश्वमेध याग का निर्वहन करो। अश्वमेध याग की तैयारी के लिए कम से कम 1 साल से भी अधिक समय लगेगा। तब तुरंत ही एक अश्वमेध महायाग कोई नहीं कर पाएगा। राजा हो, चक्रवर्ती हो, उनके लिए भी 1 साल से अधिक तैयारी करनी चाहिए। जब अश्वमेध याग के प्रति नाना प्रकार का विचार तुम्हारे मन में आ जाएगा और मन को भरेगा, जो पहली की जात योद्ध है वो मिट जाएगी। इसीलिए तुम अश्वमेध याग का निर्वहन करो। सबसे बड़ा पुण्य, एकदम काफी पुण्य उससे मिलेगा, तुम्हारा पाप सब कुछ मिट जाएगा बताया। तब युधिष्ठिर ने पूछा, अश्वमेध याग करना आम आदमी से संभव तो नहीं है? अश्वमेध याग कहाँ, आम आदमी कहाँ है? मेरी जिंदगी में जिस प्रकार पाप हुई उसी प्रकार हो सकता है, इतना बड़ा पाप नहीं, फिर भी कभी कभी तो हो सकता है। आम आदमी के लिए सब नाना प्रकार के जो पाप है उसको मिटाने के लिए क्या मार्ग है, उन्होंने पूछा। तब बताया, मार्ग है, हमारा शास्त्र बहुत माँ के समान है, इसीलिए हम शुद्धि को माता बोलते हैं। सभी लोग शुद्धि के बच्चे हैं। सभी बच्चों का स्वीकार करना, हर एक को जो आवश्यक है, जो परिहार आवश्यक है उसका निर्देशन करना, यही है शास्त्र का दौत्य। इसीलिए उन्होंने कहा, सुनो, महाविष्णु सभी यज्ञों के अधिपति है। महाविष्णु के 1000 नाम मैंने सुना है, हमारी पुण्य भूमि में वो प्रसिद्ध है। पहले इन नामों का उपदेश दिया परम शिव ने पार्वती को, अभी तक चालू है। मैं 1000 नाम अच्छी तरह जानता हूं, तुम्हें बता दूंगा। इन 1000 नामों से जब महाविष्णु की आराधना हो, जप के द्वारा हो, अर्चन के द्वारा हो, इसी प्रकार एक सार्वजनिक प्रबंध से हो, इसका इतना पुण्य फल है कि अश्वमेध याग से बराबर है। अश्वमेध याग का कितना पुण्य होगा, फल होगा, उससे बराबर है इस विष्णु सहस्र नाम का उच्चारण करना, उसके द्वारा अर्चन करना। इस प्रकार कहकर उन्होंने कह दिया। उस दिन से 5000 साल बीते हैं, उससे अधिक। अभी तक विष्णु सहस्र नाम इस पुण्य भूमि में आज भी उसका प्रभाव है। अनेक लोग इनका जप करते हैं। आपके घर में यदि विष्णु सहस्रनाम का उच्चारण हो, जप हो, वहां कोई खराब नहीं रहेगा।